Hey there, friendlies. Welcome to the 6th of August episode of the Beer Blazing Bushcraft live stream. I got beer. I got blades. We're going to talk about bushcraft. So there is no false advertising here. Okay. Oh, I'm bushed though, guys. Excuse me. Man. So I was just over at Dennis's live stream, the Canoe Hound Adventures. I've taken to checking out his live stream for the hour before mine whenever I can. If you guys ever want to, throw another hour of your evening at a live stream, his is definitely the one to be at. He's a good guy. His live streams are entertaining. It's not a waste of time, that's for sure. He likes to help people sort of network and check out each other's channels. I've started following a lot of channels since checking out his live streams. So, oh man, what a day. Yeah. It's tough when you got to hold down a day job as well as YouTubing, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm just going to get comfy, and then once we got a few more people on, I'll crack open the bottle I have with me tonight. This is one I've had before. I'm starting to really, I've pretty much exhausted the options of beer that I've never had before and that I'm interested in trying at the local Metro and at the local Provigo. So I'm going to have to look further afield starting fairly soon. Little housekeeping. For the next 2 weeks, I'm not in town, so I don't know what my live stream ability is going to be. Not sure. I may have to take a break for 2 weeks, but we'll see. We'll see. Next week, I'm in Alberta playing a music festival in the mountains where there's pretty damn close to no signal. It's one of those situations where, you get the Wi-Fi password and you have to sort of stand on one corner of the roof in order to get any signal. So I don't even think I'm going to be optimistic about that one. I don't think it's going to happen next week. And the week after, I'm in Penticton visiting my dad, and I don't know what the internet situation is going to be at his place either. Also, you're visiting. It's kind of rude to just disappear for 2 hours, So I don't know. Good old hay fever. Hey, Simon, come on va. I didn't see you at Dennis's live stream tonight. It was a good time. It was a good time. What's going on? How's it going, mister? Just waiting for a few more people to come on before I discuss the beer. Jonathan Milley, hey. How's it going? How are you doing this week? What is up? Yeah, it's weird. One of the nice things about being at another live stream is that I could actually click on someone's name and get the go to channel option, whereas I can't while I'm actually hosting. Did I just drop the signal? Did the signal drop there, guys? I noticed that my numbers went to 0 for a minute and then back up to 2. So I don't know. It seems a little weird. 2 weeks vacation tomorrow. Where are you going, Jonathan? Hey there, Serge. Good man. You taking a trip or are you doing the staycation thing, Jonathan? Staycation, yeah? Got any wicked plans, or are you going to be doing building a fence or something? It seems that so many people I know who are staycationing are like, yeah, I got to build a deck or something, Just checking making sure I don't fall behind in the chat, although no danger, the chat's not moving there. Working on the honey-do list. Yeah, okay, I get it. We understand each other, Jonathan. Yeah, Jonathan, I'm trying to check out your channel, but it's weird. Like when you host, you don't get the option to visit a channel. I guess YouTube wants me to be concentrating on my own stuff or something. Whatevs. I'm going to be working on the honey-do list over the next few months because starting next Monday, I will be... no. Anyways, after my vacation, I'm on paternity leave for 5 weeks, and then I'm on parental leave until January. Okay, Jonathan. Okay. That's fine. That's okay. Not everyone needs to be pumping out viz. So here's the thing. Serge, there you go, raindancebushcraft. Yeah. So here's the funny thing. This you want to hear about something that pisses me off? Doesn't really piss me off, but it's a drag. The plan for tonight was to use this in the workshop to live stream from. I have network cable to get there. I have a gigabit switch. I have everything set up. But that laptop has 2 USB plugs. So to plug in that network cable takes a USB dongle, which I just threw into this drawer and I've already lost. I'll tell you what, guys, I could lose something in my own back pocket. I have, in fact, lost something in my own back pocket. But anyways, oh, here it is. So, dongle, right? Ethernet, USB. Don't break the glass. USB for the microphone. USB for the camera. If you do the math, I was like, yeah, I wish I'd thought of that. So that didn't work. I may just, these laptops all have built-in cameras. I may just do that next time so that I can get back into the workshop. But, this isn't a great camera, but it's a hell of a lot better than that one, Simo's going to be right back. Yeah, no, I didn't mean to ring the bell. That's a little Scotch glass. Because a few nights ago I was editing some vid, having a little tipple, But anyway, so I don't know. Unless I can make a USB plug magically appear for that laptop that doesn't have all kinds of latency issues, I don't know. I really don't know. So I think, hey, Tyler, how's it going? I think USB hub will just, I don't know if it'll keep the speed up. I don't know what if I can use a USB hub, plug everything into it, plug into the same, port on my computer and not have either syncing issues or latency, fine. They can't be that expensive, right? Good man, Jonathan. Good man, Jonathan. It's a good glass for Scotch, eh? These are expensive, by the way. If I break this, I'm going to feel real bad about it. What's the Scotch you're having, Jonathan? Outdoors here. Camping on the Chincoteague Island, Virginia. Okay. With campground Wi-Fi. Nice. It's okay. At least you're here. What are you cooking up tonight? Outdoor dabba. I can get a Thunderbolt adapter with Ethernet and USB ports on the Amazon. Amazon.ca. Let us see. Well, there's a USB-C plug, which ain't going to help me because my computer is old. USB-C to 3-port USB with Ethernet adapter. Nice. Thunderbolt 3. What ports do I have on this laptop? Guys, I biked home from work today. I've been biking to and from work. Because as some of you know, I had a really scary conversation with my doctor about my weight and about my blood pressure. So biking to work is part of my solution. But man, I was biking home and it was like 29 degrees plus the humidex. And it's like the trip was 19 kilometers. And I was just, by the time I got here, I was just ready to give up on life, you know? Lefroy, yeah, man, I like that. That's right in my palate. Right, I like them smoky. I like them peaty. I like them a little briny, not too much. I don't like them to be medicinal. But yeah, I like Lefroy a lot. I like some of the Bowmores. Okay, here are my ports. So I got a USB. I got 2 Thunderbolt, like the old ones, and that's just a power port. Betchissimo. Didn't let me down. Amazon.ca. Cable matters. So I don't have to go to the Thunderbolt then. Man, I wish I thought of that. And Simo, I'm not going to have any speed issues, right? It's just USB to USB, no problems. Now I've lost the chat evening window. Hey, Craig's here. How's it going, Craig? Thunderbolt. Ethernet adapter. Man, it's too bad I bought this adapter. Maybe I can send it back. Thunderbolt Ethernet adapter. An adapter. I'm not looking for Thunderbolt 3. I'm looking for old school Thunderbolt. I'll look for this later. I mean, this is just going to bore the crap out of you guys right now. So I'll look for it later. But yeah, I would really like to get this thing back into business for the streamage of living, so that I can get back into the workshop because the top of my workbench is now level. The top of my workbench now has holes in it. The skirt's not yet, and because of a router disaster, one of the ends of the workbench is ruined. So what we're going to do is, if we can get the damn router to work, we're going to trim 1/4 inch down, 2 inches across off of either side, and insert some walnut, because it's, I think I got a picture. That ruined my day. I wasn't even angry. I was just utterly depressed. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to show up very well, but come on, focus. This will work. Okay, you see? Really? Hold on, guys. Let me drop the brightness down even more. But you can just sort of make out, because the damn phone or camera is not behaving. There we go. You see there? Boom. And that was horrible. And that was because we're using an old beat to hell Black and Decker. Simon, what the hell's a 2P? In English router, and the attachment, whatever, just it slipped him because it's got a depth stop on it, right? And so we had it set, and we were just dropping it down a little bit, and then we didn't. I was like, "Geez, this is hard." And then Robin said, "Stop!" And we looked, and man, I'm really let down. So you know what? I'm just gonna buy a new router at some point, like when I get back from my vacation, because the thing is, it's like what I've told you guys before. We get these old ass rat-eaten tools, and like the first part of any project is always making the damn tool work, you know? And we didn't have to do anything to really make this tool work, except that the depth stop slipped. Because it does that. It's ruined projects for us before. And like, I was in such a gosh darn good mood, man. Because I was like, I don't believe it. This is finally getting leveled, man. We built a router sled for it. We measured. We screwed rails into the side of the bench, and it was working, man. I was just so depressed. I still am. Every time I look at it, anyway. So yeah, it's definitely USB 2.0. GPS. Oh, Thunderbolt 2, yeah. Man, Serge and Craig are you guys are speaking with the same voice all of a sudden. Simo, yes, I definitely need a router. Hey, I guess LT is not going to be here tonight. Is Outdoor still with us? Yes, we got a bunch of people here. It's time to crack open the beer. I've had this one before, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the live stream. I'm out of options at the local stores, so I picked one that I liked a lot. This is from Bose over there in Ontario. Their Wild Oats series. It's called Paper Chase. It's a just focus, okay? Just focus. There we go. It's an ale au bois de bouleau. Bouleau in English is birch. So it's a birch wood. Oh, so of course the name Paper Chase suddenly makes a lot more sense. Ingredients: local spring water, as I always say, local to Ontario, not to Montreal. Organic barley malts, organic oats, organic birch bark, organic hop and brewer's yeast. And as you guys know, my favorite wood for carving is birch. I do love the birch in all its permutations. Oh, and it's a 600 ml, if I am correct, and it is 5.6% alcohol. So even though this bottle says that that's a strong beer, that's kind of, I mean, it's not that strong compared to most Kazakhstani beer. Let's see if I can do this without making more suds than anything else. Nice color. Did you guys hear the U in color in the way I said that? Because I'm a patriot. I like this drink with my Tobermory pint glass. Look at that color. Look at that. Yep. Raindance Bushcraft needs a new router again. But this time it's a different kind of router. Yeah, I think I'm going to carbide bits instead of gigabits. Exactly. How would you get a non-organic birch? I have no idea. I was just reading the... Thank you, Serge. Serge noticed that I did not bugger up the pour this time. So anyway, I'm very let down by the accident that happened to the workbench, but it's fixable. At least it's fixable. Oh man, is it going to be like? Is it going to be the Serge and Craig show tonight? Is that what's going to happen here? Man, it's hot in here. Holy snap! This is the basement, right? So it's generally the coolest part in the house. But man, I'm schwitzing. Where the hell is Robin? Hey, Dr. Sharp is here. I'm not going to make it a three-legged stool. I'm going to fix it. And it's going to be with walnut, because walnut is... I'm going to start that whole sentence again. We've already used walnut for the wedges, for the through tenons on the legs and coming up through the top, through the bench top. So for symmetry, we're going to use walnut for the and just, I hope this works. I've got a couple of weeks to find a router that is going to actually work, and just hope to hell that it doesn't get buggered up, because with this much taken off, we can fix this. It's fine. It's not what I wanted the bench to look like, but it's fixed, and it'll be workable, and the horrible gouging won't be there. If we ruin it again, that'll be an issue. Thank you. We're here till Thursday. Yep. Yeah, it says. I may need to borrow a router, or I may just suck it up and buy one. I'm gonna make some money playing this festival in Alberta. Thing is, yeah, I'm gonna make some money, but also, I have to pay my own flight, so I'm not gonna come home like swimming in money or anything. Sawdust is man glitter. Thank you for noticing that, Simo. Mark is here. How's it going? You know what? Can one of you guys who I made a moderator start putting people's channels up so that I can click on them? One of the cool things about Dennis Canoe Hound's live streams is that one of his moderators is just constantly popping up people's channels so that people can follow each other. And I'd really like to start that with this live stream. I think it would be really cool for you guys to really, discover each other's channels and, get it working. How excuse me, how many inches across is the bottom of your router, Simo? Because the router sled that we built to do the bench top is sized for a 6-inch bottom, and I figure that they're probably standard at 6 inches, but I'm not sure. Paul Bunyan dander, poor guy who's got bunions and dander. Here's a 6-inch. Yeah, I think it's probably a standard. I think so. If either of you have a flattening bit, that would be great, because I think we ruined the temper on the bit. We used a bit that I had rather than buying like a flattening bit. Actually, I don't think I need a flattening bit anymore. Anyway. Yeah, it was really weird. I was like trying to figure out what the hell to do with my bench top, and I was just, you know what? Other people make router sleds. I'm afraid to make a router sled because trying to get everything flat and everything. But then I thought, if I just buy like MDF or that whatever's that white stuff with the particle board inside, it's flat, man. So I called up Rob and I said, I've got a cunning plan. I'm gonna text him and see where the hell he is. Hold on, gents. Are there any ladies on? No. So hold on. Yeah, Melanin or something, you know. Dear Robin, are you coming ce soir? We are doing the live stream. If he comes online, everyone say, Robin, where have you been? We've been waiting for you. No one's had beer yet. Yeah, it's melamine. Like, here, give me 1 second. I'll just show you what we built. Is anyone keeping track of how often I go off screen? So, right, here's that melamine stuff. Built a very small frame around it, just tall enough so that the router doesn't like move side to side and start gouging this up. These fit on the rails that we leveled and attached to the side skirts. We put the screws where I'm going to eventually put my my 3/4 inch holes for the holdfasts. And it works great. It like, I'm very proud of that, because I'd spent all this time like, oh, I'm not going to build a sled. And then I just woke up one morning and said, no, we're going to build a sled. Called Robin. I went and bought the stuff, and 2 days later, we built the sled and leveled the bench top in one go. And this was 5/8 thick. So we, when the router bit was right up in it, we didn't have that much room. Three-eighths inch acrylic. Yeah, you know what? We should have gone for something like 3/8. What I was looking for was something that was not going to flex, like, at all, provided we weren't like reefing on it, you know. The way this is sized is for a 6-inch diameter, and then when the plunge is all the way down, it's like an 1.25 inches tall. But it doesn't have to be plunged all the way down, because that's what a depth stop is for, right? But as I said, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, so there's plenty of time to, to organize this. It's like no one's got an old school Thunderbolt to Ethernet adapter. Anyway, whatevs. But yeah, so I'm just going to start sucking it up and saving up to buy new tools with warranties that I know are not going to, wreck everything. Whoa, Tyler, really? Nice. Bet you're looking forward to getting that up and going, eh? Hey? What's the Thunderbolt on these old 2015 laptops? Is that Thunderbolt 2? Because everyone's building Thunderbolt 3, right? Which I have no need for. Should probably just get like the USB to USB and Ethernet, just for simplicity's sake. Because I whatevs. No, so we weren't using a flattening bit. Tyler, oh, you've already restored it. Nice. Nice. Man, I'd love to see that. Yeah, okay, Serge. It's like, what is it? Russian Express card. Don't leave home. Yeah, that's why it's. I mean, I don't have a USB-C port on this whole laptop, and I don't foresee myself. Hold on, band business. I don't think I'm going to buy another Apple laptop. Like, for this generation, they've got some really cool stuff. I don't think that the stuff is cool enough to justify the prices they cost, and they've taken away some of the things that I really like the slot for this. The slot for this is why even now that I've got this big meaty computer, I'm still editing on that thing sometimes. Well, there are two reasons. First of all, because it's easy. Slip the damn card in. Second, because I don't have to calibrate that monitor, right? Because Apple stuff is made for video and photo and blah. You almost never have to calibrate the monitors. This monitor is fundamentally in need of, of calibration. But the calibrator that I can buy on Amazon is like $175. So I keep kind of putting it off and editing on that thing. Even though I've fixed the external hard drive problem on this now. So I don't know. Medium-term plans are to get that calibrator so that this screen will actually show me the colors in a true sense. And stuff. And man, I want to get that camp carver that Craig's boys have made. Jonathan, you're using your 2014 MacBook Pro right now, but it'll be your last MacBook. Yeah, I don't know. Like nobody builds them like Apple, right? In many, many ways. In some ways, though, that's not a good thing. Like they keep trying to push the design envelope and everything. I get that. But like, remember that when that keyboard was essentially making people have to replace their computers because of little problems with the keyboard. And it's like, stop pushing the envelope. Pick a solid tech and stick with it. Don't the current one's all power through USB 3 as well, right? And the MagSafe adapter, the power adapter port on those that age. I'm going to start that again. They're even being powered through USB 3 now, USB-C. But the MagSafe adapter plugs have saved my computer on several occasions when, if it wasn't a MagSafe plug, I just would have pulled the damn computer off the table by walking past and snagging myself in the cable. Like, not all the changes that they've been bringing are the right choice. Because what it is you put nothing but USB-C ports on your computer. You can throw on 4 ports for probably the same price as having MagSafe, a couple of USBs, and a slot for a card, or less, in fact. It's clearly a money-saving move. But I don't support that. I mean, Apple prices all its stuff as aspirational items, and if you're going to price your product as an aspirational buy, I expect premium features. There it is. I don't care about a freaking touch bar. I'm getting behind. MD463 LLA, that's the one you got? Let me see if I recognize that one. Let me see if I recognize it. No. Apple.ca. AirPods. Piss off. I don't want AirPods. I've tried your headphones and they are not comfortable. Oh, Thunderbolt to Gigabit adapter. Oh, $40. $40. Hold on a second here. I will deal with that later. Man, I wish I didn't have to spend $40 on it. See, well, I like Linux or Linux, depending on who you speak to. I think it's not something that I can get away with using anymore. Back when I had an old Power Mac 8500, I was running Mac OS, BOS, and Yellow Dog Linux on it. But, Sash, if you can find it. Anyway, my work PC is an HP. Some of the people have Dells, but I have an HP. But it doesn't have any USB-C on it. Excuse me. Oh, man. The seasonal allergies. Seasonal allergies. Hey, Hike with Mike. Nice to see you again for the second time the same evening. How's Dennis's live stream going? I wish I didn't have to leave his live stream early in order to do my live stream, but I really can't do my live stream any later than I do it. Already, it's a chore to get up the next morning, But I like that guy. I think that everyone should go and subscribe to him. I like his on-screen energy, and I like his canoeing vids. He's good people, Funny thing, is Craig still here? Because I want to talk about something. because it also fits in with what we were just saying about Apple laptops and stuff. This book, it's not a fun read, okay? It's not. He's an engineer. He's an engineer, but he's also a design psychologist, and he talks a lot about good design and bad design, and how it's not always obvious what you're doing until people are messing up, Just looking for something here. I'll look for it later. I'm looking for a paper I wrote in university, because I think I will need it at some point soon. But it was interesting was I was watching a video fairly recently on Ötzi, the Iceman that they found in the Alps, and I was thinking about the axe he had on him, and like Stone Age hand axes and all that stuff, and how the axe, which I forgot to bring to my desk, hold on. How this shape did not come about from a vacuum. The pole, there's a reason for a pole on the back of an axe. It's to keep the axe from wobbling as you swing it. And that was not a European invention. That was an American invention. And when a Swedish axe manufacturer, whose name escapes me because I'm drinking beer, went to the Americas, he came back and added that. Lugs, and just, let's put lugs on. No, there's history behind that design decision. There's history behind this. This is a recent. For most of the history of axes having handles were straight. This is recent, but there's a reason for that. And design of software and cars and all that stuff, it's missing the human touch, because these things are not being designed by people who... The history of the design of this starts with a piece of rock, a piece of flint or whatever, getting napped into shape, used, and then thrown away. A hand axe, right? And it's just like the line between that and this is circuitous, sure, but it's unbroken. I mean, this evolved. The design process of the modern axe is millennia long. Ford Focus does not have a millennia long design history, The doors on the front of a store do not have a millennia long design history. It's a whole different ball of wax, man. I mean, people wonder why I get kind of all misty-eyed and mystical when I'm talking about axes. It's because, man, they're old and they're still with us. And yeah, most of the companies have gone under, but look at the beauty of the line. right? Look at the. Just take the mask off because it's the weakest part of the design. Look at this. Look at the lines. Every line on an axe, and I mean, Craig is hanging out with us. Look at the axes that Council's will makes. It's the same damn thing. Every line makes sense, but there's a flair there, man. There's a real. It's the kind of thing that you don't get in those Gerber things that are just, well, let's make an axe, punch. In these axes with a little history behind them, and companies with pedigree. Form meets function. They're beautiful and they work. And there's not a plastic handle that sends the shock right up your arm when you use it. There's no like weird, fusing of a metal head to a plastic hand. There's none of that. It's old school design. Millennia and then centuries and stuff, and then just years and then days of design process. Uncountable numbers of people adding a little design here, adding a little idea there, and someone else seeing that and thinking, yeah. Viking axes, general design happening there. French axes, there was a general design there, parallel evolution of a design in different areas. Look at that axe that Ötzi had on him, That wasn't a one-off. There were lots of those made like that. I like anything where I can see a millennium or two behind it. That's why I like flint and steel, because I can see history there. Yes, it's a new piece of steel, but it's like a fern. There's been there's been very little evolution for uncounted numbers of years, Oh, hold on. Hike with Mike. Oh yeah, you've got a tomahawk, eh? You gonna make a leather sheath for it? I support this idea. God created trees so we could design axes. Hi, Mom. Everyone, my mom's here. Colette Corbet. We have the same last name because we're from the same family. Let's just talk about axes again, Mom. As Simo and Steph have heard me do time and time again. She's going to be away from tomorrow until Saturday. Okay. That's fine. I will be away next week and the week after. Craig, yeah, but I can see that in your designs. You obviously have, a knowledge and a respect for the designs and the forms that have come up to us through the years. And that's why the designs you come up with are so damn cool. Like with you made a Shawnee War Club. Oh, cool. What do you use it for? Not going to war, I hope. Oh, it's a good drink. I don't know when the hell my girls are going to get back. They were in Ontario at a water park. Calypso, I think it's called. But I would have thought they'd be home by now. Hey, brother love. How's it going? Good axe is like a good dog. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've had this axe for Well, almost as long as I've had this channel, actually. So I'm going on, what, 5 or 6 years now? This axe comes with me every time I hit the woods. There's a real comfort there, you know? Like, you just know how the tool is going to react when you've been using it constantly for several years. I have several axes, but I don't use all of them all the time. Every now and again, you know, I'll switch it up because I very much believe that if I have a tool that never gets used, I don't want it in my house. But this one here, this one's my favorite. Just because I know how it feels. I know, I pick it up and I know what it can do. There are certain jobs it's lousy at. So I'll bring like either my Scandinavian forest axe or something bigger or smaller, depending on, you know, the job. But good night. Everyone say good night to my mom. Do you think the Falkneven knives are worth all the fuss for $700? I seriously wonder. Mine did not cost nearly that. Mine clocks in at about $200. They have some very expensive ones, but they're not all that expensive. And I wouldn't spend $700 on one of them either. If I'm spending like 300 up, excuse me. If I'm spending, you know, maybe even just more than 200, I want to at least be able to determine what handle material I'm going to have, you know. Well, that's custom knife prices to me, you know. B+ stainless paper. So yeah, I wouldn't spend $700. I mean, some people do. The thing is, people who spend that kind of money on a knife very often are collectors, and I'm not one. You know, if I had untold amounts of money and I had that to spend on a knife, I would probably buy a Northman knife. But even then, I don't know if I'd buy a Northman. I would buy a Northman axe, you know, Montreal Minute. But the knives don't move me the same way. It's the same story with Liam Hoffman. He's got at least 2 axes that I dream of owning, but I don't like the style of his knives. And they're very expensive and they're exquisitely made. But I don't want it, you know? If I had a $700 knife, do you think I would bring that into the bush? Which right there, the thing is, if I had a $700 knife that was a custom made for me by, like, I don't know, pick an exquisite maker, yeah, I would take that to the bush, you know. But a $700 off the shelf knife, not interested. Excuse me. Get a Grumman first or a Puko? Yeah, I think so. You know. Yeah, Serge. But there's a guy who lives next to me who also who collects knives as well. I'd love to have him on the on a live stream one night. But several of his knives are like $1,000 or more. Some people collect bass guitars. You know, I used to have like 4 basses, but because I'm so collection averse. Oh no. Oh well. I off-gassed 2 of the. I'm down to 2 basses, and I pick one depending on how I'm feeling. But when I walk out the door to go to a gig, you know, and that's why like I have a few knives, but I'm not. I don't want like 20 knives. What I've got right now, I switch up, you know. Like at one point soon, I mean, I know that I decided to use the Falkneven and the Garberg this season, but at one point this thing is going to get back into use, you know. at one point. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a great knife. It's my only Woodlore clone, and the Woodlore is my favorite knife design. I got this little guy for food prep, right? Which you guys have seen. 55 American dollars, including the sheath. It's my only, what the hell's his name? White? Jack White? No. What the hell's his name? I don't remember. Because I'm drinking beer. Brother Love, your first knife was a Groman. Had it for many years and rarely used it, so I never really got to know it. Then I lost it and decided to go for more. Oh, it's too bad. But I mean, if you like the Moras, then that's fine too. Hi, good Mike. Really? Oh, wow. Okay. Lucky man. I have not had that kind of luck. Yeah, Sam, I'm kind of with you on that, you know. But you know, there are some very pretty knives that I want. Any of you who've seen that blog post that I put up with my bucket list knives, some of those are they're very pretty knives. I still really want that Tamagami. It's a very pretty knife. I don't need it. I've got knives, but I really want it. I think the carbon version. I've got a couple of stainless. I've only got one serious carbon. You know, so I'd probably get it in carbon to balance things out, because I do love me some carbon. Jonathan Milley, hint, yeah, right. Zach. All hail to the ale. I'm actually having an ale tonight. I'm having a birchwood ale, paper chase, by Bose in Ontario. Brother Love, I'm the keeper of the family heirloom, which is an old Groman number 4. I'll get another one just to keep the heirloom intact. Yeah, it's funny, you know, because the Groman I want is the number 1 with a rosewood scales, with, you know, that old school sheath and everything on it. But man, Simo's number 4 makes me kind of like, oh, that's cool, because it's a bigger blade. It's got a real cool kind of survivalist shape to it and everything. But I'm a classicist, you know. I like that number 1. I like that sort of. Sorry. Is anyone keeping track? No, we're not keeping track. Hey, I guess outdoor is gone, eh? The number 4 has got a real elegance to it. The number 1's got a different kind of charm to it. It's not an elegance. It's a weird, oddball shape that just works beautifully. It doesn't look as ergonomic as it is, you know? So the number 1 is the one I want, but man, the number 4 has got a real magic to it as well. Yeah, I think it's 2, eh? You had the number 1? Yeah, I love that. I love that knife. What I do have is the Cold Steel clone, which is not nearly as nice, but it's a pretty damn good knife for that money. Like, it's, I don't know, what's it, 14 Canadian dollars or something, and it's fabulous. Just don't baton with it, because if you do, a viewer is going to write you a long, trollish takedown and post it right below your video. Just saying. Now, Brother Live, if you're wondering about the Cold Steel, for what it costs, just buy it and try it out. If you hate it, it was $14 or 12. I don't know where you live, but I think it's 14 Canadian dollars. So it's straight up affordable, you know? Hi, with Mike. Yeah, the stainless one, but yeah, the carbon do. Like, for me, I like carbon, so I think Aside from my Garberg, my Moras are all carbon steel. It just works. If I could... Here's the thing. And Craig will probably appreciate this if he's still around. If I could bring my toolkit down to like 1 or 2 tools, I'd be a happy guy. If I could strike a ferro rod off of this, I'd be a happy guy, you know? But I can't. If I could... Actually, I can strike a ferro rod off the back of my silky saw, though. Because like what I want to do at one point, maybe in spring, is do an overnighter, but with one tool, and see how well I can do with one tool. Like one cutting tool, I mean. And like, would that tool have to be a knife, an axe, or a saw? Because I can, to a certain extent, split wood by, if I have a long piece, sawing halfway through and then whacking it against something, right? But I can't strike a ferro rod off of this. Some of you guys must appreciate what I'm talking about. Like, you want to try to get your stuff down to the minimum possible, you know, collection tools. Like, I would always have a Mora in my backpack as a backup, you know, because I don't want to walk out there and, excuse me, and come stumbling out of the woods and ruin my overnighter because I'm being stupid. You know, I want to have a backup knife as an, you know, just in case and everything. But man, I would love to walk in there with one tool, whichever one it is, and see how well I can make it work. And maybe it would go lousy, but I would still make the video. In fact, it would be kind of better if it did go lousy, because way back when I started this channel, I was like, if something goes completely south, it's still going to be in the video because I'm still learning this stuff. And lately, I haven't had that many things. One thing in the part 1 or 2 of my... No, it's not up yet. Never mind. I'll just drink beer. Suffice it to say, aside from like tiny little things, I haven't had a major disaster in a long time. So if I do have one, it'll make a better video. Get a number 4 stainless saber grind with micarta hat. Micarta? No, man, I like wood. Used stainless for many years, but the one day I realized I'm good enough now. I deserve the carbon steel. Nice one, brother love. Jonathan's got a couple of CRKT neck knives that are great for small tasks. Yeah, little neck knife. Little neck knife. Moving right along. Now you're all grown up. You like the tarnish, yeah? You can, off the lower edge of the bit, or like take a file. You mean like down here? Wait. What are you talking about? You talking about like down here somewhere? Yeah, I guess it'd be hard enough down here, eh? To like 90 degrees to the edge. I figured it would be too soft, but actually the bit's pretty hard on these. But obviously not there. That's not hardened at all. Is that what you're saying, Greg? Like in the beard area, kind of? Zach would get it flat ground. Why would you get it flat ground, Zach? Fall in love with the Scandi grind? Me too. Easier to sharpen. I've got a couple of convexes now, and I'm always afraid to sharpen. This little guy, I was using the mouse pad and sandpaper technique. I wasn't getting it absolutely shaving sharp, though. Dutch Bushcraft knives video told me why. So can you make your 1-to-1 axe, sharpen it up, clear yourself a safe space, and start swinging? Yeah. Do the Craig, have you done an axe safety video where, like, you know, where you're about to start? First, you see how much space you have above. You know, maybe bop the tree a couple of times. Check the space around you. Do you do that? I was thinking of doing a video about that, but I don't want to sell myself as an axe safety expert because I'm not. I still do some stupid things, you know, and I catch myself. I'm like, oh, don't do that, you know? Hold on. You're really good at ruining them on a stone. I'm getting better at the stone. In fact, I'm doing all my kitchen knives freehand on a stone now. Hi, good Mike. Your favorite saw is a Japanese Bakuma saw, extremely lightweight with a bamboo handle, cuts through wood like butter. Huh. I've never heard of that. How long are they? There's always the BK9. Yeah. That's what I tried. That's your brother's knife that I tried this past weekend, right? It's the only cutting tool. Simone did the one cutting tool thing a couple of years ago inadvertently. You'd never do it again. Too much limitations. You need an axe, a knife, a saw, and a shovel. A shovel is an excellent choice. I need to get a portable shovel because, like Serge can tell you guys, man, we get to the site, and how often do you wish you had a shovel or like a little rake or something just to clear the room, the ground around where you're going to do the fire, so that nothing. Man, a shovel's a good thinking. Stone one edge of your pole so that it produces a burr. Leave it on there. You did this with the Kelly flint edge you took to the wood. Oh, interesting choice. Yeah. Use the edge in emergency. Yeah, but I'm not in an emergency. You've not done a safety video. There are so many. Okay, yeah, that's legit, Craig. I get that. There's a lot of stuff that everyone's done, eh? There's a lot of videos that I'd like to make, and then I set up and I'm like, Cole Cracker's done this better than I'm going to do it, or MCQ's done this better than I'm going to do it, or, you know, just do something else, you know? All right, Jonathan. See you later. Hi, good Mike. When I sharpen, I use soft furniture finishing steel wool and sharpening compound and leather strap. Okay. I do not use that technique at all, but okay, that's good. So don't do what I do video. Yeah, I should. Sharp does not equal cutting ability. Okay. That's interesting. I could sort of see that actually. Lefroy 10 or Glenfiddich 12 as a beginner scotch. Okay, Zach, here's the thing. I like Lefroy a lot, like actively like it, and I actively dislike whatever's the standard Glenfiddich you find in every SAQ, or I don't know what the hell they would call an SAQ in your province liquor store, you know. I hear that there's a specialty Glenfiddich that's very good. I generally don't touch Glenfiddich. Lefroy as a beginner scotch might be a little harsh. It's got that smokiness that I really like, but someone who's just starting out might not like that too much. So you might want to go for something a little more user friendly, like I don't know. I was going to say an Ardbeg, but no way. Hold on. The Lefroy is a better quality scotch than most of the stuff that Glenfiddich makes. You know? Spiritueux, vin, champagne. Non, spiritueux, là. Eau de vie. Scotch A whiskey. I'm looking for something specific that I would consider Aberlour. Oh, that's a good taste, but no. Like maybe like a Bowmore around the 12 or something, because it's got the smokiness, but it's not overdone. But that's not what I'm looking for. Britolandic. Oh, that's a good. Oh yeah, Cragganmore. A Cragganmore or a Dalwhinnie, something like that. Excellent beginner scotches. The thing is, if you have one of those two bottles, beginner, I would go for the Glenfiddich, because it's a very friendly taste compared to the Laphroaig. This craze of having a super thick knife is insanity and silly. I like the Benchmade Bushcraft. Like the bench, I don't know that knife. Hold on. Oh, Simo's brought up a link for that Japanese saw. Oh yeah, okay. I have a couple of saws of that style. Not a Bakuma, but like I've got a couple of workshop saws that are Japanese pull saws. For the woods, I also have a Japanese saw, but it's a silky, just because it folds up, and I can use the back to scrape a ferro rod. You have a couple of videos on the Bakuma? I'm gonna check that out. I don't remember the Benchmade Bushcrafter. I've seen it before, and I think I've seen it on a Dutch Bushcraft Knives video, but I don't remember how thick it is. I'll look it up later. I'm with Jonathan Milley. The Laphroaig is not a starter whiskey. Oh, Brother Love just checked out the Northmen's site. Right? That site makes me wish I had a winning lottery ticket in my pocket. I would have a couple of axes. I might even have their kitchen knives. I don't know. I have this dream of having a set of good Japanese kitchen knives, but you know. Variables list: weight, blade geometry, edge profile, edge bevel, angle, sharpness, user's ability, wood species, seasoned versus green, etc. Legit, Craig. Yeah. Oh, someone put up the Bushcrafter. Oh yeah. Is it really thick? I didn't know that. I didn't know it was that thick. They're affordable. If it's 235, no, that's not Canadian dollars. Oof, so they're like north of 300. I like that little divot at the front of the handle so that you can grab it for like the lever and everything. Plain drop point, but how thick is it? Blade edge, drop point, belt lip, so. Handle thickness, no. Blade thickness, 4.17 mil. That's thick. That's excellent for batoning, but I'm not sure about the slicing ability. Well, it's a pretty high grind. I don't know. I think the thickest knife I own is this. I think is that a 4 mil blade? Do I have a hold on. Stepping away, guys. I'll be right back. Because I wouldn't want to go below 3 mil. But I wouldn't want to go even like a micron beyond 4. You know? Yeah, this is 4 on the nose. This is my my Woodlore clone. My Australian made. That was a terrible accent. Sorry, guys. My Aussie. But yeah, I wouldn't want to. Like, this is the thickest I want a knife in this class. If I had a BK9 or something, obviously they're thicker because they're supposed to be choppers. But you know. Special ed, what's more important, width or length? We're talking about knives, right? 4 knives. Wait, have you tried Jameson Caskmates Stout? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And I'm going to buy a bottle of that. That's not... The thing about Jameson is the thing is I almost exclusively buy Scotch, but I've recently started getting more into sort of the Jameson as like not a daily drinker, but you know, it's good to have a bottle of Jameson on, and that Caskmates, that's pretty damn good. I also have a bottle and a half of the Wayne Gretzky, the 99 red label or red premium or whatever the hell they call it, which is quite good. Brother Love, it looks like a 5 mil. This? No, it's not. No, it's a 4. The lighting and everything is iffy here. In fact, it's just shy of 4 straight up. So it's probably 4 mil 01 that got very lightly trimmed down as he polished the edges up or ground the edges. Special Ed has an SP53. Simo, you want to bring that up for the guys? Craig, come on, that's a video you want to make. Yeah, no, Brother Love, I wouldn't buy a 5. I'm kind of like, I don't want my knives to be too meaty, you know? I find the balance gets off somehow. Unless it's a big freaking chopper that I'm pretty much mostly batoning. LT has a cool thick one that's called a fro. It's not really a fro. It's just a big honking. Because it doesn't have the handle up, you know? That one was thick. But it's essentially just a batoner, you know? 3 to 4 mil. That's where I like it. Slight preference for 3, I think. You know? Simo's brought up the... Oh, okay, yeah. That's not the knife I thought it was. That Ontario SP53, that is not what I thought it was. Interesting. Is this a new design? The newest generation of... Okay. Interesting. 5160 steel. How does that balance? How good is the balance on that? Is it really blade heavy? Special Ed. Yeah, how many of you guys like a longer knife? Like I like 4 inches. To me, a knife that's 4 inches is perfect. I can do a slightly smaller, like 3 1/4 to 3 1/2 or whatever. But I prefer a 4, maybe 4 1/4 inch knife. Oh, someone just put up a link to the LT's fro. Yeah. Very cool knife. Very, very cool. Oh, and is it discontinued? $32.02 from Rocky Mountain LLC. Should I buy it? I'm not gonna buy it. I can't just keep buying things. Can't do it. But yeah, it's very cool. But I mean, the only thing it's useful for is batoning, you know? Tyler, oh, you like 4 or 5? Yeah, I could maybe go up to a 5, but I don't want anything longer than that. Craig, I'm thinking so as well. You use the Ontario for batoning, too heavy for a good machete use, too thick to slice good. It's 6.6 millimeters thick. Yeah, that's probably an amazing batoning machine. But yeah, I could see where for smaller camp chores, not so good. Now, special ed, do you carry that plus a second knife for smaller camp chores like carving and stuff? Sorry if I look like I'm blinking like a gimp. It's just I've got wicked hay fever happening, and it's just destroying my eyes. And I'm taking pills. You see your Jeff White bush knife. Ah, Jeff White. That's the name I was looking for about this thing. I'd forgotten you had that Jeff White. The Yukari Buko is 4 mil. Yeah, and you like a knife that's 3.5 to 4 inches long. Yeah, Serge, our tastes are very, very similar. But you know, Zach, I mean, I hadn't really used them before either. This past weekend, I was in the bush with Serge and his brother Alain, and Alain brought that BK9, and that's a big freaking chopper. And I'm not going to change my taste in knives. I still like a 4-inch blade, but I can see the usefulness. How do I say this? If you're not an axe guy, I can see the usefulness of something like that, or that fro that Simone Link does too, you know? If you're not an axe guy, because with that big freaking BK9, it's a beast. And you can chop through. I mean, it's not as effective as an axe, but you can chop through, you know, small diameter limbs. You know, you can delimb a tree that's down. You can do a lot of. It's just you're not going to beat this thing at chopping. You may beat this thing at batoning with something like that, though. You know? But even then, I don't know. One thing, Serge, I think that's the one that Alain said he had to reprofile the edge on because it was the wrong angle, right? Wasn't that the one? Simone would take this one, this Ontario SP8. Oh, okay. This one looks a lot like that fro, but a lot more money. I guess that's a saw on the other side. Look at that sheath. How long is this? Blade length 10 inches. Long. What is a blade you really want just because? Zach is probably asking everyone sound off. What's a blade you want just because you want it? For me, Tamagami. No. Really, honestly. Jack Lore. Olive wood handle. Black liners. Mosaic pins. Olive wood scales. Tapered grind. Dangler sheath. Ferro rod. Because he no longer does custom orders, I refuse to spend that kind of money. So, failing that, hella Tamagami. Recently, the Castrom Lars Felt knife has really, man, that knife gives me the fizz. I really want that Tamagami though. Carbon. For Simo, the SP8 is one of his just because. The Zombie Tools Defos. I don't know that knife. What about the rest of you? What's a knife you want just because? Whatever Dick P used in Alaska or the original Skinner by Nesmuk. Man, could you imagine what Nest Mixer original knife must be worth right now. Craig, you know me. I want a Nestmuk and I want a Kephart. But could you imagine if like an original Nestmuk or an original Kephart fell into your lap? That knife would never come into the woods with me. It would spend its entire existence probably next to my bed so I could look at it every night before going to sleep or something. What did Dick Prenicky use in Alaska? Oh, good. Simo has a... Come on, eyes. Defos. Oh, I see. That's what you want just because? That is probably long. The handle length is 10.5. Oh, yeah, it's a 25-inch. So it's like a... Is that even short sword length, or is that more just sword length? I've seen this before. I've been at this website looking at this before. That Zaka sushi looks pretty good too. It's Japanese for funk you. Really? One second. What do you mean this can't be? Oh, it's because I misspelled it. Stop drinking beer. I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys some. This is the Nestmuk that I will be buying at some point, probably in the spring or summer. Let's see if it'll let me post. Boom. That's one knife that I want just because. Nice. At Tyler, you will especially think that's nice. Hand-and-a-half sword. Zach, so that's something you want just because. Like, just because the zombies might attack? Is that something you put above the door? What's the sheath that thing comes with? Now, Tyler, the Nestmuk I just linked y'all to is not curly maple. It's curly birch. But to me, that's not a problem. It's also not a fully traditional handle design, but I'm okay with that. Beer's done. Tea time. You can appreciate curly birch? Yeah, I figured. That's a really nice knife, too. So it'll be perfect to put over the front door once the girls begin to bring boyfriends home. Well, my girls are home. I think I'll just put this over the door. Or maybe the Scandinavian. Or one of the big ones. I don't want to make sure you hang that real solid, though. Eh? Can you imagine? Walk. Someone slams the door. Especially because, Seth, you and I are both going to have to deal with teenage daughters at some point. So the doors will probably get slammed a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Do you know that of which I speak? Tyler, send link again. Oh, did my link not work? It is working, right? Is everyone getting my link? I will sit here quietly until I get an answer. If you slam the door, take it off the hinges. We had a rule like that in our house. Very suddenly one day, my sister was slamming the door because she and my mom were constantly at each other's throats. Bam! She slammed it too hard, one time too many, and so my mom just went and got a screwdriver and took the door off the hinges and put it somewhere. And so my sister put up like a sheet, or I think it was a sheet. I was gonna say like one of those beaded curtains, but no, I think it was a sheet. I remember they were having a fight a few days later. My sister stomped off to her room, whipped the sheet aside, stepped through, whipped it closed behind her. I was like, peeked through and I was just, slam! I just lost my stuff. Here's the funniest thing I'd seen all day. Bedroom, bathroom. Oh man, taking the door off a bathroom would be kind of awkward. Hey, Tyler Wood is live. What? He's supposed to be here hanging with us, man. But yeah, that curly birch nestmuck, man. That's cool. That's very cool. And it's funny because he wasn't like, we treat that as a bushcraft knife, but he didn't, right? That was his skinning knife. His what we would call a bushcraft knife, like his little whittler and stuff, was a pocket knife. It's exactly the opposite of how we would do stuff now. Where your big knife, your main knife is your belt knife, and you've got a little whittler or a pocket knife just sort of as a backup. It's funny how stuff like that changes over the years, eh? I mean, nestmuck's been underground for years. He's been gone for a long ass time. But we still read his book, and we still think of, how cool it'd be to do bushcraft the old way. Even though, like, progress happens because it's better. But, I still feel the pull of the old ways, that's for sure. Peeing with no door in the bathroom is another level of punishment. Good point, Craig. You do it once, you probably don't have to do it very often again. Yeah. Excuse me. Do they have a Kephart as well? I bet you they have a Kephart as well. Because I'd also like to add a Kephart to the toolkit. Harder to find a Kephart that I really, really like, though. I think Bark River makes a fairly cool one. Condor makes one too, but here we go. SC makes a Kephart, but it's got a really tactical kind of handle. Good old Bark River, eh? They make everything. thought I read somewhere that the original shape of the Kephardt's not really that clear because he had sharpened his knife so often that they didn't know whether that was the original shape or not. I would love to know if that's true or if that was just somebody, the interwebs, right? Everyone's got some kind of historical knowledge, quote unquote. I knew I was going to remove the bathroom door. She would make sure the situation and the kids would get fixed. K-bar, BK. Oh, yeah, Zach. That is cool, eh? That K-bar. It's weird, man. When I saw that K-bar had a Kephart, that made my head spin a little bit. But, man, they seem to have done a really good job with that. I'd like to hold that K-bar at some point. Just to see, if it... Yeah, I'd like to hold that just to see how it feels, because it looks really good. But it's 182 American. But yeah, man, that's something cool. That's something cool. Let me see if I can bring that up for you guys to look at. Whoops, wrong window. Wrong window. Yeah, Craig, I don't know if I'd really want to be like a professional knife designer these days. I like some of the stuff that Joe Flowers is designing for Condor. But it's like no matter what you come up with, someone's going to say, that looks a lot like this, Trying to bring up Condor's website, but Condor Tool and Knife, right. That pterosaur, for instance. Yeah, that's a Joe Flowers. Man, that's cool. That's a real cool looking. And it's the kind of thing that's not usually in my bag, but I don't know, something about the pterosaur that I really like. Serge thinks that Kepharts remind him of a butter knife. Fine. That's fine. It's fine. $22.39. 20 days to go. I have a bell to ring tonight. Whoops. That was weird. How the hell did that? Whatevs. Diving Spiral Jacklor. I have a yen for a Jacklor. Diving Spiral makes cool knives, though. That's the thing, there were so many cool knife makers. There were so many cool axe makers. We're like in a mini golden age for bush tool makers, I mean, it's a terrible time for larger tool making, like knife or axe companies. I mean, most of the big ones have gone under. You've got sort of the current crop, but there isn't going to be another council tool or another Gransfors popping up. There will be another Liam Hoffman or Toronto Blacksmith popping up. So, we've got like an embarrassment of riches in terms of choices in certain ways. It's all high dollar. It's not all, but the vast majority of it is high dollar, one man or very small shop production. You know, think of it, like take 100 years off the date and think of how many great axe manufacturers there were. Take 150 years off. You know, you got just in the United States, how many great axe manufacturers there were. You go to Sweden, and there were like dozens. You know, go to England, dozens. The chainsaw killed all of that. You know. Like, think of a time when quality wasn't a selling point. It was just what everything was. Imagine that. Yeah, and Tyler, I will gladly spend the upcharge for a one man shop or a small shop to do a custom order from you. Absolutely. It's just it's sad that that's where the industry went. That there isn't enough money or demand flowing around to keep some of these great old seminal famous companies going, you know. All right, see you later, brother love. I'm probably not on for the next 2 weeks, but I'll see you when I get back, right? Pixie Tool Company in Sheffield was your grandfather's favorite. Were they an axe manufacturer or were they like a general tool manufacturer? Like, there are some one-man shops doing fabulous work. Even on the restoration front, right? There's Vintage Axe Works, who I would love to be able to afford something from him. You know? But you pay for that kind of... He's probably, Craig, you know more guys like this than I do, but I think he's the best guy going right now. Is there another name that I should really be looking at about that, or do you think I'm about right? Because man, I think his work is something else. General Tools made some decent hatchets. I mean, look, if you find a bunch of chisels from 100 years ago, same deal, right? It's like, oh, look at these. Look at these, you know? Roy Scott is Vintage Axe Works. Yeah, so you think he's top of the heap as well, yeah. Yeah, I can't believe how good his work is. It's just... Poof. So Simone says that the reviews of the pterosaur are not so great. That's disappointing because it's a really cool looking design. And Joe Flowers knows how to design a knife. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. Hold on, guys. I just buggered something. Okay. So another just because. Oh, the BK3. Yeah. It's a little more tactical than I like my stuff to be, right? But it looks like there's a bunch of tools in one in that blade, which is kind of cool. Smashes, bashes, pries, hammers, and cuts. Lifting stubborn hinge pins, prying open doors and windows, and hammering out glass, as it is efficient at cutting 550 cord. Moly compatible hard plastic sheath included. So it's $160 US. Yeah, I like my designs to be way more traditional than that. Though what's cool about that is that there are so many tools in one, you know? Somebody posted a video on Axe Junkie's Facebook page of GB. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I saw that video pop up, but I was at work and my internet usage is kind of tracked there, so I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna watch it tonight, I think. Recent reviews of the Pterosaur are great. Okay, so just if you decide to buy one, you gotta make sure you get a recent one. Okay. Anyone here planning on getting a pterosaur? The thing is, Condor, I mean, it's an affordable knife, right? You can't really expect. I mean, if the MSRP on this thing is $49, $50 US, I mean, I'm not going to expect Jacklore quality, you know? The pterosaur is a little more tactical than I like generally, but I like it. I like the coyote brown. I like almost anything in coyote, actually. I'm feeling so creaky, guys. This sort of they recalled all the early ones from the distributors. Do you remember what the quality control issues were? Hmm. It's $10.95 steel. I don't have a problem with that. Condor makes everything. They even make shuriken. I do not. You cannot buy a shuriken in Canada, but I don't really need one anyway. I feel that I would not want a Condor axe. I have yet to see a Condor axe that makes me want to drop my money. Sorry, I just got distracted looking at the Condor site. But there aren't that many things that Condor makes that I really want. I'm kind of in a position where all my wants are kind of nebulous, Like I'm not dying for anything except that Tamagami or maybe nowadays that Lars Felt knife. But yeah. Oh, the frog on the sheath had poor retention. That sucks too. Pterosaur. Such a good name too. My girls are definitely home. I'm looking for reviews, but I'm not seeing much. So it's a 4.15 inch blade. Okay. I could do that. I'm not going to buy it though because it's not a bucket list knife or even something I just kind of actively want, and I'm not going to just buy it, to play my role in consumer whoredom, But yeah, I'm gonna check out that Facebook video of the he was a Grantsford smith, right? Hey guys, sound off. Who's still with us? There are still 6 people here. Who's still hanging out? Still hanging. Zach, Serge is probably still here. Craig, guess Tyler. Who else is still here? Yeah, Tyler's here. Here's our earth lizard. Yeah. Nine more minutes. Oh, somebody's gone. All right. See you later. See you later, Craig. See you in a couple of weeks. I'll ring. Choose a knife profile and tell you why. There you go. Scandi grind is easy as hell to sharpen. Oh, one. No, that's not a profile. That's my favorite knife shape. I want to get a big ticket woodlore clone at some point. Whether I can convince Sandy to make me one to my specs, or whether I go Adventure Sworn or whatever. This shape is what I'm used to. I know what it can do. The original reason was just because it's Raymir's. You know, I took it out of its sheath the first time I had it. I was like, man, I'm Raymir's kind of thing. But I've come to like the shape. I like the thickness. That's I like that point right there. That's the way I want my points. The ones that are straight and then down, I find, I don't know, a little more awkward, because it's all about when you're using the knife, the shape of the blade affects where the pressure happens, right? Where the strengths and where the pushback and where the tension happens. You know, this is a good shape for like rocking. You know, when there's one that's really straight, you can kind of poke yourself too easily. But with this, you can just get your hand on it and you can rock. It's great for, like, you know, if you have to hold it, like, don't do this, but if you have to hold it and do some real light work. And I love the look of this shape of knife. It's got an elegance to it. It's obviously a very modern knife design, and as you guys know, I'm really into more classical looks now, but it's one that makes sense. It's one that's got elegance and class to it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The Coke bottle shape is good, but that's not really the profile. It's comfortable. I know what it does, and it's beautiful. Zach, self-taught Latin, really. And is full tang. Graceful drop point, full tang. Scandi. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And that's the thing. Like, most of the knives that I would like to try or have or whatever, like the Kephart, the Nesmuk, is because of it's because I want to tap into something historical. You know, the Tamagami is that there are some nice design choices. That half tang, right? It's wood along the bottom so that you don't freeze your hands while using the knife in sub-zero temperatures. That's smart. But I think I'm always going to have at least one Woodlore clone. I don't want the original Woodlore. I don't want the whatever the Ramirez knife is now. I don't want any of those. I find that the money you spend is all about the name. Not interested. But there are some spectacular Woodlore clones out there. I'm not. It doesn't have to be an Adventure Sworn, but he makes fantastic looking knives. Yeah, Woodlore is like a modern Kephart. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the next generation version of one of those real classic designs. In fact, it's my generation's version of one of those classic designs. It's just such a great design. Good looking knife. Good feeling knife. Nice balance. Well thought out. And not all knives are that well figured, designed. Nessmuk or Kephart, gents. I guess, that's tough because I want them both really bad, but I think a very slight edge to the Nessmuk. It looks like it would be a better skinner. Uh-oh, Tyler and Zach are going to have a throwdown. Nessmuk, no, Kephart. Hey, Andy. How's it going? Is Dennis just getting off his live stream now? Crap. Okay, we'll go until 11:15, but then I really have to get off because I'm dying here. It's hot and I'm tired. Andy, we were just discussing our favorite knife profile and why. Yeah, I sort of stopped myself, Andy. I was saying that to me, the number one, for me, the number one knife profile is the Woodlore shape. And I gave a whole bunch of reasons, most of which pertain to, yay, I'm Ramirez. Just kidding. I love this shape. I love the elegance. I like the Scandi. I like that you can sort of put your hand on it and rock it back and forth to chop stuff. Like, whereas knives with like a flat back, it's too easy to poke yourself. Yeah, we're talking about favorite knife profiles here. Can't throw down. If we put their respective inventors in rooms, they'd be too quiet and friendly. Okay, good point. Okay, so what I meant was there'll be a camp off. You guys will hit the woods and make food and fires and camp. It sounds like great fun, actually. You're happy to use any knife that fits your hand? Yeah, that's legit too. The American Wanderer is here. Hi there. I don't believe you've been on one of my live streams before, have you? Hey, Dennis is here. How's it going? I've just decided to go until 11:15 because you guys are showing up right when I'm supposed to be going off. First time, American Wanderer. Cool. Tell us about yourself. What's your favorite knife or knife profile? Because that's what we were just discussing. Or are you more of an axe guy? Dennis, I think I've decided on what my Swift canoe is going to be. I think I know what it's going to be. But I'm not sure if, because I think I told you that I want something that's going to be real easy to paddle. Like, I want ease of paddling over like high performance. Like it doesn't need to be able to turn on a dime kind of thing, you know? Hey, Yoren's here. I was just thinking about you today because I came across your channel again. Like, you know, how I've got all my my subscriptions on this side. And I was just sort of going through a few and watching some videos earlier today. It's all right, Dennis. Hey, Grim Adventures. I don't know if you've been. We're here to not support you because you're awesome and we like. Fair enough. Since I can't put any of their channels up on screen, if one of my how many of my moderators are left? I think it's only Simo. If you can put up a couple like Grim and American, you can put up their channels for people to check out. That would be amazing. You're here to chew bubblegum and cake. Okay, I recognize that line. That's a great line. You like your black feather PTK. I wonder what that looks like. Black. I usually have, no, I don't usually have. Simone usually finds the, puts up all the links so that I don't get sort of distracted and update my Flash player. What? Hold on. Let me try that again. That didn't seem right. Boom. Done. Maybe I found the US named Joe Honeycutt. Okay. Sure thing, Tyler. Yeah. I'd love to see some emails. Oh, sure thing. I mean, I didn't really make it. I handled it. The knife blank is from a guy I know through Instagram in Finland, no, Norway. I put the bolsters and the birch, the stack birch handle, and I peened the arse end of it, which took forever and made me hate my life massively. But I'm gonna make another one. Down under Outback. We'll take a look for that. Yeah, it's gonna be. It's a little carving knife. You know, because she just turned 8 6 days ago, so she's old enough. Well, if we were in Sweden, she'd be old enough to learn. You know, so I'm gonna start her up with this. Obviously, I'll make a whole bunch of rules. You know, you can't touch it unless I'm there. And I'll start her off with some real simple safeties, you know, things. I have to get her over the instinct to say, I know. It's like, no, you don't know. And what you don't know really, really can hurt you, you know? Down under Outback. Down under Knives, the original. Oh, it's a Bowie knife. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm going to put a link up. I really shouldn't be I should be concentrating on chatting. Sorry, guys. Dave likes it. Good. I'm glad he likes it. If a knife maker likes it, then I know I've done something right, and I like his stuff too. So, epic win. Yeah, no problem, Dennis. You can't stab me with it when I annoy you. Hilarious. Yeah, that looks like a big freaking knife. How long is that? Wow, the blade length on the Outback Eclipse is 11 inches. That's a lot bigger than I tend to go. I was saying earlier how for me the ideal blade length is like 4.25, maybe go as high as 5, but even then it kind of depends on my mood, you know. So a lot of the knives I really like are, you know, like the Woodlore or or like that the Tamagami, which I'm dying to get. That Lars Felt knife by Castrom. I'd love that. My F1, you know, some of the Moras, most of the Moras. But I've been wondering lately if I should get like just a little neck knife. I don't know, you know. I've never had a neck knife. I'm unsure if, you know, everyone hits the bush with their own personal like bush culture, you know, and mine has never been. The neck knife has never been part of mine. So like, would I find myself like leaning down to make fires and just keep flipping this thing and then finally just take it off and throw it away? Not throw it away, but like throw it aside. Would I think to pull out the neck knife instead of reaching for my belt knife when I need to do something? Like, there's all kinds of questions like that I would have, because adding a new tool into the mix, there's always a bumpy ride at the beginning, right? And then you either smooth out and you use it or you don't. You know, and my most successful tool has been this specific small forest axe. You know, this one it gets used every time I'm out. My second most successful tool, just in terms of how long I've had my channel, has been this Woodlore clone. I'm not using it at all this year because I made a decision to use my F1 and my Garberg. But this knife, I have beaten the ever-loving stank out of this knife, and it just keeps coming back for more. I've beat the crap out of this, and I've had to smooth it with, you know, sandpaper or stones or whatever. I've nicked the blade, and I've had to smooth that out. It just keeps working, you know. So like adding a new tool into the mix, if I'm not like retiring this one for a season and putting in a Garberg or something, like just adding a neck knife, would I ever reach for it? As used as I am to the belt knife and the axe and like a silky saw. Sorry, guys. How often would I reach for a neck knife? You know? Add back to the 800 grams. Woo! Zach. So you've played Knife Your Spoonie before? Sure thing, you're in. You're in. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. Here we go. I'm never sure that my links are showing up because I've had some trouble with a couple of them just like refusing to go up. Knife spooning. Just checking. And where we're coming down the home stretch here. Yeah, so it's too bad that I couldn't get the I couldn't live stream from the workshop tonight. I was really disappointed with that, but I'll get a different dongle so that I'm not using up all my USB ports. And Andy K. Okay. I've only ever seen one full Simpsons episode either. You know, I wasn't without a TV, but I didn't really use it much. And nowadays, I don't have time for TV. But I'm trying to keep up with, if someone subs to me, I try to sub back and watch their stuff. So I spend a lot of time on the YouTubes. Who wants to spoon tonight? Not me. It is too hot. Okay, guys. Okay. All right. Everyone's a comedian tonight. Yoran's got his coffee. I got my tea. The beer is finished. Dennis, it's an Ontario beer tonight. It was. Paper Chase by Bose. Damn you. Oh, we're in focus. Birchwood beer. Birchwood ale. Tasty. Little birchy, but not too much. Tea is a good drink. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I gotta man, I still gotta practice tonight for that festival gig next week. I still got a million things to do. You had chamomile too this evening? Man, chamomile does not do well in my stomach. It makes me ill. Not like ill, like I gotta puke, but I don't know. It's just I feel off after I've had chamomile. Well, it's nice and relaxing, but doesn't do me no good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Serge? Serge? Do you know that of which I speak? I'm trying to put a slipper on without. There we go. Yep, I feel just about wrecked. Just about wrecked. And last night, man, daughter number one was like headachy and pukey, probably like a little heat stroke. So I was sort of, hanging with her. Just felt so bad, There's something wrong with the universe when it puts an 8-year-old over a toilet like that. But yeah, not too much sleep last night. 23:15. Okay, I don't know. It was a pretty big headache. It might have been because it was a couple of days. But yeah, it's 23:15. So I am now going to get offline. So I'm going to ring the bell. Thanks to everyone for hanging out. If I can get online over the next 2 weeks, at some point, I'll leave. I'll put it on my socials, right? Instagram, Facebook, and I'll do a YouTube post about it. But I don't know if it's going to work over the next 2 weeks. Next week, absolutely not, because I'll be in Alberta with no signal. The week after, it's going to be awkward. But I'll let you guys know. So thank you for hanging out. And And everyone have a good night. See you guys later.